Hi all, I'm Charan Singh. I'm currently doing my artificial intelligence development internship at Smart Intents, and I'm going to explain about my project. The internship title is Intelligent Customer Help Desk with Smart Document Understanding. Well, the project compromises with the help of IBM Watson. What does IBM Watson do? Let's see. Before that, you can see the details about our project. Well, the project is about intelligent customer help desk with smart development understanding. Well, the project kicks off with five main components, which are project planning and kickoff, where you create the project and then to use the IBM Cloud platform to create a cloud in order to store data and use IBM Watson for accessing those data and for cloud functions in order to make sure that the pipelines are accessed correctly and you get a user interface in order to create an output. Well, the outline starts with the scope and setting of the environment where you get the outcome. And then the cloud platform plays a major role in creating an user interface and to create an impounding result. And then IBM Watson services, as you already know, usually in creating an assistant to enhance our day-to-day basis, which can be added along with our pipelines for a future extended event. And then IBM Cloud Functions. Well, when you're using a cloud and Watson services, you definitely need cloud functions to go through both of them at the same time with minimal reduction of time taken. And finally, the major reason for creating such project is only because of one thing, to get a desired outcome. Why do we need a chatbot? Why can't we just use a service as a person by paying you money? But why do we use AI in the first place? It's because to reduce money and time constraints. That's how we create chatbots to access through and create desired output for the person at the time required. Because a person may be present at the moment or he may be absent. So in order to fill his absence, we can use such chatbots to make sure that the given output is taken and the model works as required at the time. Now, these are the outcomes of this project. When I go to the service details, we have a greater overlook over it. First of all, Node-RED DHJVA. We all know this is the resource list where you're going to access through all the details required. This is the place where you create all kind of data required for you. This is nothing more than the dashboard launching area where you're going to get through the assistant. Now, getting through the Watson assistant, you see a lot of boxes around here. They are nothing more than my project. Well, my project, also all you know, customer care sample skill is being used here as a data. My project is a smart chatbot only to make sure that it's useful at times when required. Well, now coming to the main part, the intents. What are intents actually? Intents are the comments which are required to show what the process is being done by a button or a given data. For example, cancel is a hashtag being used as an intent, a comment to show that the cancel button is used to cancel an object or a function at a definite time when pressed. All the other buttons are similar to that. The only thing is the action varies with respect to the time taken on the process which are accumulated as a result of the outcome by pressing that object or button. Next of all, entities. You don't need to know much about entities. It's nothing more than applying a add function to show off its varied broad level. Now moving on to entities. There are several types of entities. When the human is living in a particular place, it may be called as a living entity. But in comparison with Watson Assistant, you can be sure that these are the entities which play a major role in containing the project with reference to the data. Now, for example, when you say an entity is a holiday, there are many days as far as concerned. Your marriage date, your memorial date, a new year, Labor Day, Christmas Eve, Independence Day, and so on. These are all entities which must be considered when doing a chatbot. They are not just constrained to these following categories, but there are many other categories too. You can create even an entity for just time constraints. For example, from 6 to 8, the chatbot will be working only if the entity is being used, or else it won't be working. That's how entities play a role in this project. And then to the main part, the dialogue. Dialogue is where you're going to get the outcome for your project. The dialogue is several, is all created by me to give you an outcome when the project runs. When you're giving an input, well, for example, if I say, hello, I'm Sharon Singh from Smart Interns, if I give an input, it'll give me an output. Hello, how are you doing? That's how the input and output situation works with equal complementary activities. This is how the dialects work. Now, going through the opening session, where these dialects can be introduced only with the help of a single word called node. What is a node? You already know when a data is processed through a simple data point, that point is referred as a node. There are several type of nodes: primary node, secondary node, even parent node. These nodes play a major role in getting the input and producing an output as required for the user. The opening plays the role of sending a hi or hello message for a person. This is how you give an input game. And then all these dialogues will play a major role in giving an output for your node analysis in this project. Now moving on to the other sectors compared to the opening session, and then later on you'll find the other concepts such as what are your hours, where are you located, I want an appointment, general meetings, is how the content works. Now I'll show you an example when we give an input example. You're giving a holiday date to access our data. For example, when you're accessing a particular data through a given amount of some time, you get an input in order to make sure that you get an output. So what we are going to do is we're going to give it a processing input, which is at holiday when it's Christmas. When you give Christmas as an input, you get you're closed on holiday. That's how the output and input works in a dialog session. This is how the node plays a major role in giving an output to the given input. Similarly, we have so many other nodes. Thank you, goodbye, general summaries, greetings, I want to make an appointment, please transfer me to blah blah blah. These are the many important nodes which play a major role in our model. They cannot work unless you give a pipeline. So let's move on to the pipeline session. We'll learn more about the pipelines which are being used right now. Now, let's see. This is how the Node-RED works. We have used JavaScript as a major part in building this app. This app plays an important role in giving you the input and as well as the output. Actually, you get an output only when you give an input. Now, when I give the input, it moves on to the form where the form sends the font over here. The block gives you the U, which the U here defines your data. When you give an input, the input is being displayed. The input is nothing more than this node, and the output moves on to the customer care, which is the real bot situated, and it works according to the payload given. The payload is being escalated here. The debugging part takes place in the payload, and after completion of this payload, you need to produce an output. How do you produce an output? Same, you just display the font. That's how the total pipeline works. Now I'll show you this is how the pipeline works under this column. This JavaScript block function helps in creating a message and producing the output. Such a magnificent outcome from this project as well. You'll see the bot which plays the important role. For example, if you give an uppercase or a lowercase, it gives you the desired output according to the need. Now I'll show you the real-time project which will help you understand the project much more definitively. That's how the project is going to be explained. It's going to be clear as crystal. Now moving on to the Node-RED dashboard, the important process of a project. Let's go on to this. Now, now, when I give an input, hi, what would the bot reply with? Hello, good afternoon. Hi there, it's a beautiful afternoon out there. This is a normal input, but what happens when you give a definite, decisive, indecisive input? For example, if I give such an input, it will recognize that's an error. It will give you so long. It's just trolling you out there. Now I'll give you this kind of hash codes, which will give you, I didn't understand, try to give an input once again. That's what the sentence means. The bot replies with an input situated output in order to make sure that you understand what has happened. Now, coming to the main part, actually, now we're gonna, since it's a customer oriented program, we're gonna have some technical questions. How does a heater work? How does a heater work, first of all? Now, the answer is clear. If you have a furnace or boiler installed, select the main menu, configure the heater's type. Furnace optimize ecobee for the system of the forced air with the air boiler optimizes that ecobee can be used in radiators or floor heat. This is the output produced by the bot. So how does this help? We can say this in two sentences. It works efficiently and it produces the desired output at the given time. It doesn't require any manpower, it doesn't require any electricity as a device requires. You just need to make sure it's on connected in cloud, which makes it much more simpler for you to understand. Let us give a simple question for your understanding at the moment. Now, how are you? It's a question which you ask to a human being. What would the bot reply? Good afternoon. How can I help you? Actually, the bot helps to make sure that it helps us understand our particular needs as well by communicating like an intermediator, like a human being. You can differentiate bot and a human being by the way it speaks or texts. There are similar opportunities to convert these texts into speech by voice to text recognition and text to speech recognition. These models are high efficient and most often used in Amazon for many particular important issues. For example, in Wuhan, the coronavirus has been created or was indefinitely produced by animal needs unwantedly and deliberately without our knowing, and it's causing us such an issue at the moment. But there's a solution for this. How? We're going to make sure that the technology enhances by the way the bots enhance. We're going to train bots to speak like human, to think like human, which will give us a desired advantage of completing our jobs efficiently faster. That's how we're going to make sure that it's going to happen now. Now, in order to make sure that the project is complete, obsolete, we need to make sure that we are going to give this comment. What is your use? Let's see what would happen right now. Would the answer be, I don't know? I'm not sure of it. Let's check. See, I didn't understand. Can you try again? It's because the grammar is wrong at the moment. That's why the answer isn't provided correctly. The bot takes the insignificant data from us in order to make sure it gets the answer as well as the question. Applied and orientated. Now let's see another example. Who are you? What would the answer be? It says, hello, good afternoon, because you already know this is a chatbot. You haven't yet programmed that I'm Charan Singh or I'm Sushmita or any name as you wish, but the bot deliberately answers the only required questions other than normal needs. That's how the bot works. That's how these Node-RED works. That's how the IBM Assistant nodes play a major role in creating this project. I hope I successfully completed the project and you have explained it clearly as crystal clear. Well, I hope everyone is safe at their homes. I hope Corona ends soon and wish you all success. Thank you.